Let's continue to talk about how the declination of the planets reflects ongoing world change and the situation in the world. So before I showed you a larger time scale from 1935 to 2035, this is from 2016 to 2035 so that you can see a bit better what's been going on. So I think this is illustrative of what happened during the period between 2019 and about 2021. You can see where Jupiter, the blue line, Saturn, the green line, Pluto, the red line, were all what we call parallel to each other. And so that was the big period of restriction, of transformation, of actually being at rock bottom. I think everybody can agree with that. So it's interesting how that is reflected. And this is the whole world, because remember, this declination is really involving the whole world. It's not just one particular country. And then since then, Jupiter has gone up through the signs, and around what, 2020, yeah, it looks like 2022-ish, it started going into Aries. And this was the new start of the Jupiter cycle. So this summer, or this year, when Jupiter gets up here to Cancer, is when we'll start really seeing sort of the peak of whatever that Jupiter cycle started. And what's happened along the way is that you see where the blue line and the gray line, which is Uranus, is innovation. Even when we're talking about our freedoms and rebellion and all of those things, all of the great innovation, technology things, when Jupiter hit that gray line there was an expansion there. And right now, Jupiter is going on and developing more of that, or it's reflecting that that's being developed. And then when Jupiter starts coming down around 2026 and it meets the gray line again, I think we can expect another burst of innovation there. And then we'll start reaping the rewards from that until maybe about 2027, we'll get more regulation when Jupiter crosses the green line, which is Saturn, and we start bringing things together. So we are actually right about here before that yellow line, Neptune, and the green line, Saturn, cross here into Aries. And so that is going to be the beginning of a significant new cycle where we are trying to bring structure to our ideals. All of the things we decided along this path of the underworld as we shed old things, destroyed old structures, we're going to, at least with respect to our ideals and spirituality and creativity even, we're going to start trying to put structure to that as we go along here. And in terms of the structure, that will be about a 30-year cycle as Saturn goes through its whole cycle. What else is going to happen here this summer is Pluto is going to go out of bounds. So it's really out of the bounds of consciousness. So we may find very transformative discoveries, especially with respect to energy. Because the last time that Pluto went out of bounds up in Cancer and Leo, that was when nuclear fission was discovered. So what will happen here? I don't know. Would it be nuclear fusion? Would there be new methods of energy creation like in the Earth discovered? Because Pluto's realm is below ground. That's actually where Pluto feels comfortable. So we can expect an acceleration over the next 10 years that Pluto goes in and out of bounds in Aquarius. And so there is bound to be a lot of technology that has to do with that. But I do want you to pay attention to what's happening over the next year or so between 2025 to 2026 as Saturn and Neptune push through into Aries, because it's going to be like a cold front coming through. And you know how things get very disruptive as the warm front leaves and the cold front comes in. So that's what we can expect over the next year. And so one of the things I'm urging people to do is let go of your idea of how things used to be. Let go of your ideas of how you cope with things, because we have never, at least, even over the past 100 years or more, we have not had a situation where all of the planets were above the equinox line with only Pluto at the bottom. So everything's going to speed up, everything's going to change, and we will be implementing the ideas that we've developed over the past many years. And so it's important, if you don't want to get left behind, to allow yourself to flow with this new wave.